You're already using AI. You've got ChatGPT open. You've probably tried Claude. Maybe you're even using Cowork. You are not a beginner. But most AI tutorials teach you the same thing. They teach you the stuff you already know. How to write a prompt, how to generate an image, which buttons to press. That's just following instructions, and honestly, that's the easy bit. AI fluency is different. Fluency is knowing how AI fits into your business, knowing which tool to use for which decision, knowing when to say no, knowing what questions to ask before you spend a single cent or give away a bit of data. You can know every tool like the back of your hand. That still does not make you AI fluent. I've trained over 1,400 leaders in AI, and I see skills gaps, yes, but the major gap every single time is fluency, the thinking around AI, not the doing. And that's what this video is about. There are 6 dimensions to AI fluency. I'm going to walk you through all of them, and almost everybody teaching AI right now leaves out the last 2. Those are the ones that will actually change everything about how you operate. I teach all 6 in depth in my CPD-certified AI Fluency for Leaders course, which I'll link to in the description. It's 3 hours, it's live, it's online, but this video gives you a framework to get started. We start with concepts, and this is foundational. You need to understand how AI actually works, not at an engineering level, at a decision-making level. A lot of people think AI is intelligent, but it isn't. It's probabilistic. It's predicting the next word based on patterns it learned from training data. That is quite an important fact to understand because it changes your understanding of how you should use it, how much you should trust it, and what you should never delegate to it. When you understand that AI doesn't know anything, it predicts, you can stop being impressed and you can start being much more strategic about how you use it. There's a lot more under concepts, and I teach 21 concepts in my course. Hallucinations, prompt engineering agents, RAG, but the principle is the same. Understand the machine before you trust it with your business. The second dimension is tools. This is where most people start. There are hundreds of AI tools, new ones every week. If you start with the tools, you will drown. The fluent leader starts with the problem and works backwards to find the tool. Here's something useful. There are really only 3 major general purpose models right now: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and then there's Perplexity for search. They do different things, they have different strengths, they have different privacy policies. Choosing between them is not a preference, it's a meaningful business decision. And then there's all the AI already inside the tools you're paying for. Microsoft Copilot, Google Workspace, Notion. Most businesses are sitting on AI capabilities they've already bought and never switched on, or have switched on without a plan. The third dimension of AI fluency is industry, and it's one most people skip entirely. AI is not hitting every industry at the same speed, and your competitors are not waiting for you to catch up. The fluent leader knows where to look for signals, not just what's trending on LinkedIn, what your competitors are doing, what your customers are starting to expect, what your regulators are beginning to require. Here's what gets overlooked. Your domain expertise is your absolute advantage. You know your industry better than any AI tool ever will. Combine that knowledge with AI fluency and you are significantly ahead of anyone who has one without the other. The macro dimension matters more than people think. You need to understand who is building these tools, what their motivations are, and why they should affect your decisions. Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, Meta, they are not neutral. They have investors' agendas and commercial incentives. When one of these companies offers you a free AI course, ask yourself what they're teaching you and what they're leaving out. Regulation is coming. The EU AI Act is already here. The US is moving. If you don't understand the regulatory landscape, you're making decisions in the dark. And the liability for AI decisions in your business sits with you, not the vendor, not the algorithm, you. Ethics is the area where most AI courses stop being useful entirely. Either they ignore ethics completely, or they very unhelpfully focus on the ethics of building AI models, which most of us are not doing. Neither of those things helps you. Here's what actually matters. When AI goes wrong in your business, it lands on your desk, not IT's desk, not the vendor's desk, yours. Accountability is a leadership issue, and that matters if you're building AI, but also if you're using AI. There's a whole ethical element to using AI. So you need to know your red lines. What will you not use AI for? What data will you not feed into it? What decisions will you never automate? If you haven't answered those questions yet, you might be exposed. Bias, transparency, environmental impact, data privacy. These are not theoretical, they are operational risks that need governance. And the time to build the governance is before something goes wrong. Mindset is the dimension nobody talks about, and it might even be the most important one. AI models are sycophantic by design, which means they tell you what you want to hear. If you're not aware of that, you're building an echo chamber and calling it a strategy. The Dunning-Kruger effect is everywhere in AI right now. People use one tool for a week and then suddenly they feel super confident. They think they've got it figured out. A little knowledge is genuinely dangerous here. The fluent leader stays curious without being credulous. They slow down when everyone around them is speeding up. They ask better questions instead of chasing faster answers. AI is moving faster than any course can keep up with, including mine. The only sustainable strategy is building a learning habit. That's the framework, 6 dimensions. Most people only ever think about the first 2, maybe 3 and 4, but definitely not 5 and 6. If you want to go deeper, check the link in the description for more information on my CPD-certified course called AI Fluency for Leaders. 3 hours live online. We go through all 6 dimensions in detail. You benchmark, you get checklists, and you plan how you're going to make this work. Not theory, your business. And if you found this useful, subscribe. I publish new content every week on AI for leaders who want to think clearly and grow their businesses.